Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and good morning. This is Ashima, your current affairs and banking awareness faculty on Entry platform, and in this video we'll be talking about everyday news events that are concerning with the examination as well and are important from your examination point of view. In this section, we'll be taking into consideration all the theory or important news events so that you get all the major updates in a less time which is wasted. So in less time, you get more information, and also you can give a free live quiz of current affairs every day. That is also a very short 15-minute quiz which will help you keep in touch with the format of questions alongside. Let's begin the discussion without much delays. And the first news event is 2021 Global Top 20 Dairy Companies list. This list is composed by Rabobank and it is released annually. So every year this report is released by Rabobank. Now, Rabobank is based in Netherlands. It is based in Netherlands. Who has topped this list? So, a French dairy company Lactalis is on the top with 230 billion US dollars turnover. Second position was Nestle, which is based in Switzerland. Third was Dairy Farmers, which is a US based company. And from India, we have Amul, which was there in the list. Last year, it was on 16th position, but this year it has dropped 2 places and now on 18th position. The annual turnover of Amul is at 5.3 billion US dollars. Then we have Raman Magsaysay Award 2021. The winners have been announced, but the awards will be given on 28th of November at an event which is going to be at Raman Magsaysay Center in Manila, Philippines. Let's look at the winners or the award winners' names who have been announced and for what are they winning this award. First is Mohammad Amjad Shakib. He is a Pakistani microfinancer and he is going to be awarded for defining the largest microfinance institutions in Pakistan and for serving millions of families. Then we have Firdausi Qadri. He is a scientist from Bangladesh and has discovered vaccines that can save millions of lives. Then we have Stephen Musney. He is from he has helped a lot of refugees of Southeast Asia and also has helped them rebuild their lives. Watchdog is a production house. So this is a production house which combines the documentary filmmaking and alternative platforms to highlight the underreported issues of Indonesia. Roberto Ballon, he's a fisherman from southern Philippines and has helped the community to restore their rich aquatic resources and supported them to earn a living. So he's a Filipino who has been awarded. So these are the award winners this year for the Magsaysay Award. And this Magsaysay Award, if we have a look at, was established in 1957 and it is given in the memory of the third president of Philippines, whose name was Raman Magsaysay. Then we have a few one-liners. Dorji Angchuk, who is an engineer in charge for Indian Astronomical Observatory of Indian Institute of Astrophysics in Ladakh region in Hanle, he has been admitted as an honorary member of the International Astronomical Union, and with this, he has become the first person of India or from India to get to that position. The first Indian to receive that position in the prestigious body of IAU. And his work regarding the Ladakh region, his excellent astro photography is the reason why he has been placed. Now, IAU has about 20 international experts, and he'll be joining 10 other who have been selected from around the world for now. Indian Institute of Technology Madras or IIT Madras is working with developing an innovative digital model to address the problem of e-waste or electronic waste. This project is being led by Indo-German Center for Sustainability, that is IGCS, and it was set up in IIT Madras in 2010. Now, eSource will act as an exchange platform to serve as an online marketplace for all the waste electrical and electronic equipment. There are various stakeholders, that being buyers and sellers, who use these used products or reinvent them. So, they are going to utilize it, and therefore a better use is going to be put for this old or used electronics. Right, so it's going to be it's a novel open source solution for data of stakeholders and those who have potential of tackling the electronic waste. Moody's Investor Service, they have retained India's growth forecast for calendar year 2021. So according to them, for calendar year 2021, the growth rate is 9.6%, the same as they predicted in the last quarter. And for calendar year 22, again, they have retained it at 7%. So not much change has been made by this organization in terms of the report. What was the title of the report? That was Global Macro Outlook 2021-22 report. Netherlands-based Porus NV has announced to acquire the Indian digital payments provider, that is BillDesk, and it is going to be merged with the Netherlands Porus's business platform PayU. So the size of the deal is expected at 4.7 billion US dollars. The acquisition uh, will is yet to be approved from the Competition Commission of India. Currently, PayU and BillDesk are the leading online payment providers. So that's the reason the merger is happening. The acquisition will raise the investment of Porus to India to 10 billion. As of now, it has about 6 billion already invested in Indian ecosystem in technology, and now with this investment, it is going to be approximately 10 billion US dollars. The navies of India and Algeria, they conducted the first maritime partnership exercise in Mediterranean Sea. From India, we had INS Tabar, who is already on a goodwill visit. So it is on a goodwill visit to Africa and European ports since June 2021 to September 2021. And during this visit, this exercise has come up in which Indian naval ship Tabar has participated. From Algeria, we have Algerian naval ship Asger, who has participated in the exercise. And the purpose of the exercise is definitely enhance the interoperability and understand the concepts of operation which are followed by both the parties. Then we have Government of Maharashtra, which has launched a mission Vatsalya. The mission is aiming to help women who have lost their husbands due to COVID-19. And under this mission, several services and 18 benefits are going to be given to women who have lost their husbands due to COVID-19. The major focus is on the widows, and it is going to cover various schemes like Sanjay Gandhi Niradhar Yojana and Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme and Ghar Kal Yojana and a lot of other schemes that are going to be covered alongside. Then we have Association of Renewable Energy of State or areas, which has entered into a partnership with three institutions. Them being the National Institute of Solar Energy or NISE, National Institute of Wind Energy or NIWE, and Sardar Swaran Singh National Institute of Bioenergy SSS NIBE. The MOU was signed to promote the cooperation in renewable energy technology in India. So in India, we are trying to increase the interoperation and usage of renewable energy, and these institutions are already under Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The seventh Foundation Day of Areas was conducted, under which this whole MOU was signed. This MOU is going to help India achieve the target that we have set for ourselves, that is about 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity in the country by the year 2030. India was the host of the 8th meeting of agriculture experts of Bay of Bengal Initiative of Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation or BIMSTEC. In this, the participating countries were agricultural ministers of Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, and Thailand. The chair for this was Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra. Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra is from India's side. Definitely, he is in Department of Agriculture and Research, and he's a Director General of ICAR. Right. Then we have Ohmium International, the subsidiary with the name Ohmium India Private Limited. It has started India's first green hydrogen electrolyzer manufacturing unit at Bengaluru, Karnataka. It was supposed to be started. Finally, it has got into position of starting. It's going to produce a proton exchange membrane or PEM hydrogen electrolyzer. The researchers from IIT Ropar, Kanpur, and the Faculty of Management Studies at Delhi University, they are developing living plant-based air purifier. The purifier has been named You Breathe Life, and it is completely based on purification process of an indoor areas like hospitals and schools and offices. And this is world's first smart air purifier, or you can say smart biofilter. Then we have Union Minister of Ayush Sarbananda Sonowal, who has launched a Y Break mobile app or Yoga Break mobile app. This will have asanas and pranayams and dhyanas to raise the awareness about yoga and how it can impact our day-to-day life. Axis Bank has partnered with Bharat Pay for a point of sale or POS business of Bharat Pay by the name Bharat Swipe. Axis Bank will be acquiring bank for Bharat Swipe, and it will provide the acceptance of credit card and debit card for merchants who are already associated with Bharat Pay. Now, the partnership will help Bharat Pay to expand its merchant acquiring business, which is already in quite a spread out in India. State Bank of India has opened a floating ATM on Dal Lake in Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, and it was inaugurated by the chairperson of SBI, Dinesh Kumar Kharaji. Before this, SBI has also set up floating ATM, which was for the first time, and that was in Kerala. That was in Kerala Shipping and Inland Navigation Corporation in Ernakulam. American-based investment bank Morgan Stanley has maintained the GDP forecast of India at 10.5% for the financial year 2021-2022. National Mission for Clean Ganga and South Asian Institute for Advanced Research and Development. They both have signed a memorandum of understanding to create an academic platform for young students and develop a research and capacity building hub to support the regional development in the eastern region. So, under this, both these organizations are going to work together to create and enhance the capacity building on integrated river basin management, and the focus is going to be on geospatial technology and riverine ecosystems. Indian shooter Singraj Adana has won a bronze medal in a P1 men's 10-meter air pistol. India's Mariyappan Thangavelu, who was supposed to be the flag bearer of the contingent of Indian Paralympics, he has won silver medal in the men's high jump at Tokyo Paralympics. Sharad Kumar has won the bronze medal in the same, that is T63 men's high jump in Tokyo Paralympics. And with this, we'll be winding up the segment. I hope this session has been helpful. We'll see you in the next video with more news events. Till then, goodbye, take care, and have a wonderful day ahead, all of you.